Blake, good morning. It's a pleasure to meet you virtually, and welcome to the Clemson Business of Innovation Pawdcast.
Oh, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And I know that you are a student in our program. You just started earlier this year in January, and you are now officially a Tiger. I see your championship poster over your shoulder. So welcome officially to the Clemson family.
Thanks for the welcome. It's been awesome. All the staff is so friendly, and all the professors have been really great this far. And I've been super impressed with everything at Clemson over the last 6 to 9 months.
Yeah, and so tell me a little bit about your journey. I mean, you are. Tell me about your role in your company, kind of what you do, and what the MBA will mean for you.
The official answer about our company is, we're a global electrical communications and utility distributor and supply chain solutions company. But, if I tell a customer that, they kind of look at me like, what the heck are you saying? And what's that do for me? So that's really never what I say. I like to think of WESCO and myself, we're kind of professional problem solvers for our customers in the industrial and commercial construction world. Our role is to kind of help customers reach their short and long-term goals of sustainability and reliability, while also maybe helping them identify problems that they have never even noticed before. Maybe we bring a specialist in to kind of look at their warehouse and the efficiency of it, and maybe they can decrease the amount of forklifts from 8 to 6 by just redesigning that warehouse, for example. Ultimately, that may not result in much income for us, but we're adding a lot of value to the customer, and we hope that it kind of generates some goodwill, and going forward, it helps us grow our business within the account. So that's the way I like to think of us, professional problem solvers. I came into the role just via networking in college, like a lot of people find their jobs, right? You kind of find out about a position and through a mutual friend, and it kind of just works out. My boss kind of just didn't have a bunch of prior experience in the industry, but he thought I could do it. He thought I could think outside the box, and he thought I was hungry and kind of willing to network. So he's like, I think you can do it, and I'll take the chance on you.
Excellent. That's a great story. And I love how you're identifying your company as professional problem solvers, and even just talking about how, the establishing the goodwill of just going in with the intent of helping them in ways that, may or may not be as lucrative, but just the spirit of doing that and starting that, I'm hearing, building those relationships long term.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, that's what everything's founded on. Amazon's certainly shaken that up, right? With e-commerce and the ability to buy widgets and gloves and certain kind of commodity-like items. If you rely on that, it's really hard to create a good relationship with the customer, because you're not adding nearly as much value as some of those out-of-the-box things that we can do. So it's been fun.
So in that spirit of problem solving, and in this year of 2020 and COVID, tell me kind of what have been some of the lessons for your organization, and how have you done problem solving now?
I think one of the main lessons our organization would probably say they've had to kind of learn is just you have to be flexible. Our sales force and myself, we're used to being able to visit our customers with little to no resistance. Assuming you have a good relationship, you can get an appointment set, you can talk about a particular product or project and really garner their attention. Now we're forced to sell virtually via Teams or Zoom or whatever we're doing. And as you probably know, it's a lot harder to hold someone's attention virtually. They've got kids running around in the background, the kids watching Netflix over to the side. They might have their work email up right to the left of them, and the email from their boss is coming in, and so you can see eyes wandering quite often. So how can you communicate your message in a clear, concise manner in an effort to get them interested in the project or move something along? So I think that's been one of the biggest things our organization's had to learn.
That's a huge one, and I'm sure one that everyone is facing. Have you found anything in particular that you've been able to do to pique their interest, hold their interest, or engage them for a project?
Well, for one, I want to make sure that the meeting is valuable to them in the first place. I don't want to schedule a meeting that is really not necessary. Everyone, just because we're working from home doesn't mean our customers have more time on their hands. A lot of them have been maybe had a coworkers furloughed and they have more responsibilities. So, I kind of try to educate them before a meeting, give them information so they have some more background on the product and it's not just me spieling over technical information. So that's one thing I try to do is educate more before, as opposed to previously you may talk about it more in person. And then I think you can kind of keep the length of your meeting shorter and it's more effective. I think a good virtual meeting is about 20 minutes where a good in-person meeting could be an hour. So I think that's kind of the key. You have much less time to communicate your message.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That Zoom fatigue is not no one wants that.
Yeah,
Even in the classroom,
it's a real thing.
It's a real thing, a real struggle.
Yeah.
Well, so tell me, tell me about your company's pivot at this time. You've done something pretty amazing, and it's really one of the reasons I wanted to be able to interview for a podcast. We'd like to hear more about what your company has uniquely done.
Yeah. So, as WESCO, being a professional problem solver, you're constantly looking for new and improved ideas that could add value to your customer's business. So one thing we've really done over the last 6 months is bring on new products and suppliers that we've really never done anything with. Just for example, one of our new suppliers, they're called Global Plasma Solutions. They offer an HVAC solution that ionizes the air and is proven to kill COVID-19. To me, air ionization sounds like a foreign language, and it's extremely hard to understand. And I think most customers feel the same way. So it's been tough when you're talking to a customer about such a foreign idea. There's a lot of uncertainty. When they're not educated on the product, there's just natural pushback. That's kind of how we are in our personal lives. When you don't understand something or you don't like something, you kind of just, if it's for me, I kind of just push it away and you don't really pay attention to it too much, right? So there's been a lot more education involved. You have to really try to I try to explain it in layman's terms, use videos as much as I can, in an effort to make it just more visually, because once you start learning about it that way, you're like, okay, this makes sense. But if you get too technically bogged down, it can really prevent anything from happening.
And you're calling it air ionization? Yeah.
So it's basically, you could just imagine a module or a bar that you install in your existing ductwork. And imagine, a million little ions floating around the room, and they attach to different viruses and pathogens. Viruses, the way they work, is they just prevent them from reproducing or attaching on any other organisms or bacteria they actually kill. It's been used for quite a long time, actually. It's not a new technology. It's just really gained popularity recently because of it's proven to kill COVID now via third-party testing. Some airplanes are starting to use it because obviously they're cycling the same air through during a flight, and Clemson has used it as well. I don't know if they use it for I don't think it was used for COVID-19, but they are a published customer of Global Plasma Solutions.
And so you are actually then connecting with organizations that might want to bring this into a school, a hospital, any kind of organization, because I imagine it's safe, even when people it sounds like it's very safe, of course.
Yes, yeah. So that's one thing that's really unique about it is the fact that it can do its job while people are present, and you don't even know it's there, where a lot of solutions, whether it's disinfecting or UVC light, you cannot have your facility present while that's going on. So for an airport, I think the Charlotte airport has installed, you can continue to clean your facility and purify the air while people are there. Now, the technology is not going to help if I cough directly on you. That's not what there's no way that they can cycle that air through, right, and kill it. And it's really more designed for, say, we're kind of in a common space like an airport, and we cough. Yeah, there's millions of particles that go all over the place. the idea is to, kind of get those and prevent them from lingering around in the air and continue to sanitize your air.
And Blake, tell us a little bit more about, not to get too into the weeds about this, but
Yeah.
what are we talking about here in terms of what's in this product that makes it able to attach and kill the virus maybe that's in the air?
All it really does, and I don't want to get too into the science of the ionization bar, but it just creates positively and negatively charged ions. That's all it does. And those are pushed out into the air. And when there's positively and negatively charged ions, it can kind of interact with viruses, attaches to them, prevents them from attaching to any other organisms where that's pretty much it. I mean, it's just positively and negatively charged ions on it. It's a chemical reaction. One reason we're a little bit safer outside is these positively and negatively charged ions occur much more naturally via running water. It's just a natural thing that occurs outside, as opposed to inside. There's not that natural air. You have a lot of people breathing CO2, coughing. There's just a million other things that could cause the air to be polluted inside, and you're not getting that extra, natural cleansing from the air.
So the application for this and all the ways it can be used, places it can be used, is just huge right now. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I mean, there's nowhere that this wouldn't be a good application. I think they have over 150,000 installations worldwide, and I'm sure that's growing rapidly. I believe the Atlanta MARTA is installing it on all their trains and facilities. So it's pretty much endless where it can go.
And when I think about trains and I think about subways, I think about airplanes, it's probably something we've needed for a long time.
Yeah.
So this is a very positive thing that could come from COVID-19, is being able to feel a little bit safer on an airplane with regard to flu and everything.
Yeah, COVID's not all bad, I don't think. Maybe we were reevaluating some of the things we were doing, and they probably weren't the best, the most sanitary or best things. But I agree. It could be a good thing going forward.
Yeah. I always think it's good when we can pull those positive lessons from negative events. And that's one of the things, that according to the research on resilience, it's when we can make good things come from, and meaning come from, things that are bad. And would you say that's been true for you personally over the last year? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I've had to learn, I guess during COVID, it's easy to think when things get back to normal, right? I'm going to do this. When things get back to normal, I'm going to start going to the gym, or I'm going to start doing this. And one thing I've learned is, you got to take it a day at a time, and you can't wait for that next normal or push the can down the road. You've got to start thinking outside the box now, and kind of just continue to stay diligent. So that's one thing I've really learned during COVID for sure.
Blake, the one thing that comes to mind as I'm talking to you is you are really fortunate to step out into an organization that is just so innovative, problem solvers. What can we do? Next best solution. And it sounds like they're encouraging everyone in your organization to have that mindset. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I mean, in our role, my role as an outside sales representative, it's a lot of self-motivation. You're responsible for growing your business, and that's the idea, is you kind of hire people that are hungry and, willing to think outside the box. And that's what WESCO kind of encourages you to do. It's, my senior management is saying, get out in front of your customers and just be the guy that can help them solve their pain point. That's really, let's not get too into the weeds initially thinking about all the technical specs. It's like, you need to just understand the problem and then find a way to fix it. And I think if you can do that, you can really be beneficial to your customers and be more of a partner than just a sales organization.
Yeah, and I like what you're saying. The first, 15 years of my career were in sales and marketing, on that front line. And it's almost like you have your own business. You got to get up every day, motivate yourself. You got to think about your customers. You got to connect with them, build a relationship, build credibility, I think, too.
Yeah.
And I think, and you do have to get creative about how you approach them and how you, as you said, set up your meetings, how you provide information beforehand, but really build the trust so they do feel that you're a partner that they can open up with, share the pain point, and know that, whether it's $1 for you or just helping them, you're going to choose, any opportunity to help make their business better, which you and I both know pays off way down the road. So
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it totally comes back. And for you in your career, that means you're always going to have that mindset, whatever level you're in at the organization, of wanting to help the customer. And I think at Clemson MBA, we've always tried to encourage our students, whatever role they play in the organization, how can they make a difference? How can they create, innovate, bring solutions, increase revenue, decrease cost, bring in a new initiative, but really make the business better. And there are still, bureaucratic companies where decisions are made at the top and everybody doesn't feel empowered to innovate. But again, I'm hearing that your organization really does push that down so that everybody has that mindset. And so what else would you want us to know right now about this new product or about your company? What else would you want to share with us?
Let's see here. I think I would say, most of our customers and the people in Greenville, are in the industrial space or commercial. WESCO is really a jack of all trades and the only person on our industry that can truly do everything for you. That is where our true value is. And what our company has done over the past is grow via acquisition in a way to where we can truly be a one-stop, I don't want to say a one-stop shop, but
Right.
that's our message to most customers. It's like, as opposed to devising your spend over 10 suppliers, we can come in and help consolidate your spend into maybe only 3 vendors. You're never going to go down to 1, of course. And when you do that, you leverage your spend with a vendor, and you are going to get much better service. You're going to get better pricing and just better partnerships going forward. So I think that's our main message to our large textile and automotive customers is, we can really do all of the things that you need well, whether it's safety, out of the box solutions, LED lighting, electrical, and we excel in it. We're a $16 billion company, so we have quite the capabilities and leverage with our suppliers.
Mm-hmm. And headquartered in Philadelphia, I understand.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, my apologies. Pittsburgh, okay. And I wanted to ask you, and thank you for sharing that, because we try to teach our students how to be able to articulate, and you did that beautifully. You summed that up.
Thank you.
About your organization on the spot. And I'm going to ask you this question, but I really think you just told me. But really, I was going to ask you what continues to inspire you about, the work you do in your organization. But you said a lot of it just now in terms of all the capabilities. But just, I guess, on a day-to-day basis, what inspires you about the work you do?
Yeah, my dad always used to say, if you get up every day and enjoy your job, you never feel like you're going to work a day in your life, right? And that's one thing that inspires me about WESCO is every day is so different. You're working with different people in an organization or different types of decision makers, having different conversations, talking about different products, solving different problems. Every day. Now, I will say COVID has been a little bit more monotonous, right? Because it's just, it feels like Groundhog Day sometimes. But I think that's the best part about working for WESCO is you can, there's so many different avenues you can go down and so many different people within each customer you can work with that the days go quick and you really feel like you're making a difference a lot of the times. And that's what gets me up and going every day.
Yeah. I definitely hear that. I definitely hear that in your voice. I hear a lot of passion. What are you curious about now in terms of just what's going on, what's in the future?
Well, I'm certainly interested to see how COVID impacts organizations going forward. Is remote working and virtual selling going to be the future of the, many of my customers may never go back to working in the office. So is this our new normal? And then, also I've always had a passion for energy efficiency and LED lighting and helping customers reduce their energy footprint. I've just always thought it was super interesting and truly a good investment for a customer. I'm not selling them something they don't need. I think it really is a good solution for them. So, in the Southeast right now, we have extremely low energy rates, which is good for you and I when we're paying our utility bills. But in terms of solar being an investment, it's not nearly as, doesn't make nearly as much sense. So I'm interested to see as the population grows and outpaces our infrastructure, how's that going to change the markets here? I think that, solar is going to get even bigger than we think. And energy efficiency is going to be even a much hotter topic 10 years from now as people continue to move to the Southeast.
Yeah. And they certainly seem to be moving to the Southeast, don't they?
Yeah, no kidding. New apartments everywhere, new housing divisions everywhere. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy. One thing I do want to ask you, and I know that you're coming into the organization, you're learning so much right now, but how do you think that, what do you feel like is the key to getting innovation from all levels of the organization? What do you think good leaders do to make that happen? Any thoughts on that since you're seeing it firsthand?
Well, one is I think you want to surround yourself with people that are different. You don't want all like-minded decision makers, in my opinion. Different ages, different cultures, different majors, whether it was marketing, finance, accounting. I think when you have a well-rounded group of decision makers, you're coming up with unique ideas. You're thinking about maybe some people may have concerns about an idea that you didn't think of the way. So I think when you have a differing group of minds, it really helps you create and come up with new things.
Wow.
And then I think also creating an organization that's not creating a staff that's willing to ask for help. I'll ask my manager that's been doing this for 40 years all the time, what do you think of this? Or what ideas do you have? And I don't think people always ask for help or ask for new ideas. So I think creating that kind of culture where people are willing to ask for help and improve ideas is kind of how you continue to innovate and stay above your competition.
Yeah. So I hear that, that vulnerability to say, hey, what am I missing here? What thoughts do you have? And to know it's okay. You don't have all the ideas because everything is fluid and moving. And yeah, I love that. That's great advice. Feeling safe to do that. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So pretty impressive to see what's going on for you and coming out and getting the MBA and a lot of good things. Really, congratulations to you on all
Thank
of
you.
that. I know you're working hard. I hear that. And what would you like to accomplish going forward in your career at this organization?
Obviously, money always matters, right? So in addition to growing sales and increasing my income, I do think I'd love to move into a senior management role one day. I've always had a passion for kind of how the strategy of the company is just always super interesting to me, and how that affects our position on Wall Street and how our customers view us. And I think as you move into senior management, you continue to network with people at other organizations that have been in the business longer. They're more knowledgeable, more experienced. And that's what I try to do, is just be the, for lack of better terms, dumbest person in the room. Because I think that's the best way to develop. If you're the best person in the room at something, you're probably in the wrong place. So that's kind of my strategy and kind of how I try to live life.
Yeah. Thank you for that. So tell me, what question should I ask you, but I didn't ask you?
You didn't ask me what I do outside of work. I love to golf and explore all Greenville has to offer. COVID's made me super passionate about working out, which was tough with no gyms for a while. But what else is there? I thought you may ask what tips do you have for young people in sales with it, or that are getting into sales or getting into a new organization, that have just graduated and don't have a ton of work experience. And, one is certainly ask for help. And, the other is, don't kick the can down the road. You got to get up every single day and, try to make a difference within your organization, and continue to look for new ideas, and, ask your friend that's in the similar, even if it's outside your organization, for advice. So that's the main tip I have for younger people. Find a mentor within your company that you trust and can rely on for direction.
So tell me what's happening in the world of Clemson football. What do we know?
Well, it looks like they're going to play. That's positive news. So I'm excited about that. I went to Marshall University for undergrad. It looks like they're going to play as well. So it's, what are they going to allow? 20,000 fans? 18,000 fans?
I think somewhere around in there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, and no tailgating, right?
No tailgating.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to get one of those 18,000 seats. I don't know if I'm important enough yet, but we'll see, I guess.
Well, listen, Blake, it's been a pleasure to have a chance to talk with you, and we'll have some offline conversations about, I want to have some thoughts about customers for you. So thank you so much, and I wish you all the best. I just think you're going to have an amazing career. I love what your organization is doing right now, and the whole idea of problem solving, especially in this year 2020. So wishing you all the best. Thanks again.
Thanks, Gail.